Hey and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'll be showing you the best settings for Rainbow Six Siege in Tier 8. And before you think why you should trust me, I've been champ a numerous amount of times and I also play competitive in Tier 2/Tier 3 scene in Europe. So if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe to my channel, it would help me out massively. And let's head into the video. So we'll be setting up 50 point in general, but there is timestamps below if you want to skip through, so let's start. So with pings, I would recommend you having them on because otherwise you can't see if your teammates are yellow pinging and it's a nightmare if you solo queue. Then display performance metrics, you don't need it. Connectivity feedback, if you like it. It's like the small icons in either yellow or red that pop up in the corner. Not really needed. Cycle inside camera groups, I've put it off so I can't switch off a Valkyrie cam to a default cam just by pressing E and Q, because otherwise it would automatically pass over as seen here. The next point is drone after prep, manual. For me this is super important so that if I pre-place a cam for someone, I can just stick on it rather than it's throwing me out automatically and then having to go back in it again. Match replay if you want to report a cheater, otherwise pull it off, it takes away a bit of your FPS. Text channel as you like it. Crossplay matchmaking, so if you put it on, you will find games faster, but if you put it off, you will have a lower ping, which is also nice to have, but then your whole squad has to put it off, which is sometimes kind of a nightmare to organize. Heading over to HUD, I have taken the normal preset and changed a few things. For example, I simplified my combos because I don't like when it's like this big and this present in the middle. It's not for me. I've put my health off because I am an entry-fragging competitive and it has a psychological effect on your brain that if you see your low health, you're less likely to take engagements that you unfortunately have to. So I just put it off, and I also put off the teammate outlines because I find them quite annoying, and I've also put off the operator guides that you get when you press escape. Heading over to audio, which is kind of a nightmare in Siege, I can't lie. Microphone, headset, English. Subtitles, I have them off. I don't like it. I find it kind of distracting. I have my master volume at 50. I think that's the perfect balance for the HyperX 2. Music off, dialogue 10. And I have my dynamic range to hi-fi. I've got the feeling that on night mode, there's like a weird effect happening when it comes to steps, where it's quite hard to say if the steps are closer or further away from you. So put it to hi-fi, so I don't have any problems anymore with that. Voice chat volume on 55. Mute on unfocused is off. Push to talk 105. 40 optimal mic volume on my microphone. And this one here comes down to preference. Display 1080p, because my monitor is 1080p, full screen 240Hz, 4:3. So I'll be making a video about this, comparing all the aspect ratios. But for me, 4:3 is the best, because I like the general look, how the enemies are like slightly wider, and it gives you the feeling that you're slightly faster when you're sprinting. Very big fan of this, but it comes down to your preference. I'll be making a video about it. Subscribe to my channel to make sure you won't miss it. VSync I have off. FPS limit also off. Widescreen letterbox, please don't play with it. Field of view 87. I don't quite like 90, so I found the perfect field of view for me. With 87, I've played 83 before, and it felt like too kind of zoomed in for me, so 87 perfect. 97, and I have my brightness on 55. Then graphics. One of the most important tabs here. If you have an NVIDIA GPU, put this on plus boost, it will have an effect, and even though it's only like 10 to 20 FPS, it's worth putting it on. Latency flash indicator off. I have mixed settings because of my 2080 Ti. It allows me to have slightly higher graphics, but also maintaining a higher FPS count. I have put this to high, because the game just looks way better than on medium or low, for example. This one is linear. LOD quality medium. Shading I've put to high because this is what tweaks the lightning quality, skin surface, and scattering. Shadows on medium. This is very important because if you put it on low, you won't be seeing shadows, unfortunately. And shadows are quite important. For example, if you play Clubhouse on rafters in Garage, you can look to the door and see the shadow and already pre-fire an enemy, and it might give you a kill, so just put it on medium. It won't take away FPS at all, or at least I wouldn't have noticed it in my past 8 years of Siege. Reflection quality to low, you don't want this in a shooter. VFX I've put to medium. So for me on low, I've noticed that my FPS become unstable when I, for example, breach something with an ash charge. So medium is the best for my FPS. This may differ depending on your PC. Ambient Occlusion If you have this on, it gives you a higher render latency on your GPU, which you don't want because you will get that feeling eventually where it just looks slightly delayed. So put it off. Same with lens flare. Zoom in depth of field. I really hate this. I don't like when my weapon becomes blurry. Up to NVIDIA DLLS, I have everything off from now on. NVIDIA DLLS, Anti-Aliasing, and adaptive render scaling is 0, so it's off. Onto my controls. This is probably the most interesting tab for most players. I play a 1-to-1 Sens, which is 9958 and so on, as you see here. It is, for me, my optimal Sens. I've switched a few months back, and I think it's perfect for the current meta of Siege with all the recoils. Then mouse screen, I have it off because I prefer switching with hotkeys 1, 2, 3, 4. Gadget deployment is on advanced. If you have this on standard, you won't be able to stop putting down a bandit charge, for example, which will give you that disadvantage when it comes to breaching or bandit tricking. Then my drone deployment is in advanced, so it doesn't automatically put me into the cam. My aim is on hold, lean is on toggle, sprint is hold, crouch is hold, prone is toggle, walk is hold. And my keybands are pretty much the default ones, apart from push to talk being on my mouse button, so I can talk if I have my hands off my keyboard. And I've also changed my primary gadget to be my upper mouse button. Otherwise, everything here is default. I prefer it just the way it is. And when it comes to controller stuff, I don't play with controller. I've only played Siege with a controller once, and it was a nightmare for me, so I'll be skipping this. Privacy, not really necessary. If you're a streamer, it's nice to have. I don't have it on most of the time. And my accessibility. So, I have my optic color on red on 100%, which is the default. And this one here is super important. Screen shake intensity off. So, if someone throws an ash charge next to you or a breaching charge, your whole screen won't shake. This gives you an actual big advantage in gunfights, so put it off if you have it on. My team color is red for our team, blue for the enemy team. I have my chat hands off, my chat scale on 79, so it's a bit smaller, and chat background opacity on transparent. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Also leave a comment down below on what I should cover next. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!